I'll call this meeting to order. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Today is July 2nd, 2025. We're holding a meeting in terms of case 2025-230, and then I'll turn it over to our city attorney, Jay, if he would like to read the case into our record, please.
Good evening, everybody. Since I'm not there, I'm going to pass that over to Clara, and she
Okay.
can read the case file for you.
Thank you.
Board of Zoning Appeals, case number 2025-230, Kelly Hess. The case file contains the original application submitted by Ms. Hess. I have the original receipt for payment of $600. I have a letter to Ms. Hess and all of the contiguous property owners advising them of tonight's hearing. I have all of those letters were sent certified mail, and I have the certified receipts. Also, the legal notice that was sent to the Carroll County Times, the original notice from the Carroll County Times, and I have a picture of the posting at the property. Those are the contents of the file.
Thank you, Ms. Clara. I'd just like to remind the witness you are testifying under oath and bound by your testimony. You will be able to come up to the mic, opening statement, and then we'll call for witnesses. Really an open forum. We'll ask questions if we have it, and then we'll get a statement from Jim, and then if there's any public comment, we'll go from there, and then we'll go back and forth with any other comments, and then this board here will make a motion after you state your claim. So if the applicant would please like to come forward to the mic and provide your opening statement for us, if you don't mind.
Good evening. My name's Kelly. I am the resident at 27 Fairview Avenue, and I am proposing to start a business and have an in-home daycare. The beginning of the packet is just the layout and measurements of the property. The daycare would be on the 27 side, as the home is a duplex. The landlord, it does live on the other side, and he has approved this, which is the fourth thing in the packet here, that is his signature, allowing this in-home daycare to happen.
Perfect.
The second paper in the packet is just kind of a layout of the adjoining properties across the street and behind us. And we do have a backyard that is a large grass area. There is plenty of parking out front of the property, as I have supplied pictures of that as well at the times of pickup and drop off of the kids. We do also, the garage that is behind the house is owned by the landlord, and there is extra parking out back if there were to be, for some reason, no parking out front. And then we do have a sidewalk around the garage leading up to the back of the house, where there is a back porch. And I have provided pictures of the inside of how the kids would be napping, showing that there is adequate room for them, and that there is a safe way to get out if there were any sort of danger out the front or the back door. I do have my emergency escape plan. I'm not sure if that was added in there or not.
Yeah, it made its way in here. I think the only thing that you have to do is just post it somewhere in the home. That way the kids know you know, everything like that. Yep.
But we do have that, and that shows the first floor and the second floor. As far as the second floor goes, we would only be using the restroom. Both bedrooms will be off limits to the kids. And I am going to be getting a ladder, like an emergency ladder, for the second floor if, God forbid, we were up there and something were to arise.
Anything else from you, ma'am? I just had one or two just clarifying questions that I just kind of came across. I think it was really nice that we had the fire safety inspection that was done, and I saw that there was one done on this was done all last year, correct? So it looks like there was a finding on the 4th, but then he came back and you corrected everything, which was perfect. The only minor question I have is on the safety inspection, the first page, section 14, where it says smoke alarm detectors, I just didn't see anything filled out in that part.
So I know at the initial inspection, there were not smoke alarms in every room of the house.
Okay.
Living room, kitchen, and upstairs. That is why he came back a second time.
Oh, okay.
And they are now all installed in
Oh,
all
okay.
rooms. Yep.
Okay, so this inspection was, the checkboxes, the checklist was based on the first inspection, okay. And then, yes, I noticed on the, I guess, the last page of it, where the 11th, he says, all violations have now been corrected. So fantastic, no need to do that again. And then you talked about the emergency plan, and you'll make sure to post that everywhere. You had your inspection here, and you did say, based on the information already provided, the landlord had all the okays, and we identified all the other adjoining owners, and they were made aware. Ms. Clara talked about that, which is fantastic. Questions from you guys on anything?
No, I
Any
was just,
concerns?
Just back to the landlord, is it in here? Landlord
I think it's one of the 4 of
and
these.
approval?
4th page.
Oh, is it the DRS and Associates page you're talking about? That one before?
This page.
Oh, yes, that one, okay.
Survey.
Right, so the property owner is Greg?
Corey Hess.
Corey Hess, sorry.
Oh,
I couldn't read
okay.
that. Corey Hess,
All right.
perfect. You, ma'am? Any other questions from you guys about anything,
How many
concerns?
children were you?
That's 6 to 8.
I was trying to refine
Yeah,
that.
she
I
has.
knew I read it once.
She wrote it here, 6 to
Got
8.
it. Okay,
And then Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5:30.
thank you.
Monday through Friday, and it says no fenced-in yard. And Jim, I don't believe that's a requirement, correct?
That's correct.
And there's no requirement for signage since it's a resident, correct?
Correct.
Right, as long as the address number is visible, correct? Right.
Sure.
Yeah. Yep, she has it labeled here. You've walked through the first floor, second floor, emergency stuff, fire stuff. I have no further questions. Any other questions from the board?
Backyard pool or anything?
Not in our yard. There, our neighbors did recently just put up a pool. They do have one of those orange temporary fences around it, but not in our yard.
Oh,
No.
perfect. Just more an awareness, hey, I'm sure you told them you're having this, so just more of
Yeah.
like, hey, just be careful. We got kids everywhere, so.
Yeah, I've had conversations with all of our
Perfect.
neighbors. They are all aware and okay with the daycare.
Okay, perfect. And there were no, I'm assuming there was no issues by any other landlords that you're doing your daycare? There usually isn't, right?
Yeah, not that I've heard.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway,
No.
nobody's come to me and said anything.
Yeah, no problems, no issues from me. All good here? Any closing statements from you, ma'am?
Just that this is all that I've wanted to do. I love children. I love caring for children.
Oh, congratulations to you. That's
Congratulations.
awesome. You're welcome.
I would just love to, be able to stay home and watch her grow up.
Yeah,
And I know some parents aren't as fortunate to have that ability to watch their children grow up. And I just want them to know that when they drop their child off, that they are in a safe space, and I would love them like they're my own.
nothing better than that.
Yeah.
That's what we'd like to hear. That's it from you. Then Jim, any comments, concerns, questions you have at this time, sir?
Sure. So I'll just read an excerpt from the Planning Commission meeting minutes because it was a little while ago when they heard this. Ms. Hess came before the Planning Commission on February 24th, and I'll pick up after Ms. Hess presented her application to the Planning Commission. After discussion, Commission Member Brown made a motion not to make a recommendation for or against the daycare, but the Planning Commission concerns would be shared with the Board of Appeals by Director Hale at the hearing. The Planning Commission concerns are, excuse me, is 544 square feet enough space for 8 children? Would the people who live in the area and the property owners be notified about the daycare? What is the process when older children use the restroom on the second floor, food preparation area, and the proposed area exceeds 25% of the floor area devoted for that use per code? Home Occupations 205-78. The motion by Commission Member Brown was seconded by Councilman Tillman and passed unanimously. So no recommendation one way or other, but they did want to make you aware of those items.
Yeah, I believe the code 25-78, it says no more than 25% of the residents can be used for that business
That's
purpose. Is
correct.
that correct?
Yes.
General concerns, right? Food preparation, I'm assuming that will be in your kitchen. And in terms of space layout, I think it would be kind of hard to tell from this, but it seems like you'll have enough area for 6 to 8 kids, depending on how they're big they are. So all those concerns are valid, right? It's just you're using your home for this. You have kids in and out using I'm assuming you use the backyard space. I don't think the front yard will be used since it's a porch and the main road is there, correct?
Correct,
Right.
yes.
So thank you, Jim, for those comments and those concerns. Think they're fine. No concerns from us. Any concerns from you guys in terms of what Jim read?
Been through MSDE licensing, or is that still?
So I'm working with them currently, yeah.
Anything else? Yeah, I think in terms of the MSD, that's kind of outside of our scope and what we would be able to provide you. So as long as you're with them, you're pretty much taken care of. We won't be able to provide any of that to you. Anything else, Jim, or is all done?
I believe Ms. Hess will have to provide
Yeah.
proof that you've gone through, that you have the city approval in order to get that
Right.
certification from, right? So right, that has to come after this process.
So once you get our decision, then you'll come back and all the necessary paperwork, logistics, things like that will come forward, and then you'll be wrapped up. Anything else, Jim, or is that the last thing?
That's what the planning commission wanted to get before you, so.
Thank you, Ms. Hess. Now I'd like to ask if there's any public comment. Seeing none, I'll move forward. Anything else you have for us? Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, or is all good? Okay. I've said my piece, right? You've answered all the questions. We've talked to Jim. He's giving us his part. We talked about planning commission. You've given us the layout. You've talked about concerns. We've talked about the fire plan, the home layout. So I have no further questions, comments, concerns. Anything else from my fellow board members at this time? No. Seeing that, we will proceed to have a motion. Do I have a motion to approve? Do I have a second? Second. Those all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Carries. That's 3 votes. I bring the gavel. That's 3 votes. I think that motion is approved. So, Ms. Claire, Jim, for the record, all 3, the motion is approved. For case 2025-230. You're welcome.
So the next steps, the city attorney will prepare a case decision. Once we have that, the chairman will sign it. And at that point, we can issue you a home occupation special zoning certificate, and that's what you can take to the state. So that'll take a little while, but not as long as the time between planning commission and now. So thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry, Jay, did you have anything over there? I totally missed you there. I'm sorry.
No, you ran a very efficient meeting. Very good. I'll have the opinion for you on Monday.
All right, thank you so much. And with that, I'll close the meeting. All done. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.